Guys, thank you so much for taking the time to join us, for getting up and greeting us on this fine day. How's Europe been treating you so far?
I mean, Europe itself has been fine, but these tours are never the easiest thing for anybody. It's a lot of traveling, a lot of wrestling back to back and stuff. Like for myself personally, I barely sleep on these tours, so that's probably the hardest part for me. But it's just part of what we do.
I mean, is there any getting used to the kind of the way that it is when you're with the WWE versus the kind of independents driving 9-10 hours to shows? You always hear these road stories, and then you're suddenly flying from Spain to London to...
Well, so for me personally, we have different point of views when it comes to travel, I think. And so for me, I get very excited, and I like to go out and see things and do things and everything like that. And so WWE schedule is not exactly conducive to that sort of thing. And so just for example, the last 2 days we had back-to-back shows and just really brutal travel with in Spain. And I love Spain. It's one of my favorite countries to visit. And back in the independents, if I was going to Spain, I tell the promoter, yeah, keep me out there for like 4 or 5 days, pay me a little less, keep my hotel for a week. Like, I want to see things. I want to experience things. I want to eat the food, immerse myself in the culture and all that stuff. And, you just can't do that here. So I had like 60 minutes.
We saw your Instagram was
that's
cycling
right.
around, yeah.
Oh, I screamed in my
that's fine. We'll get it all sorted out afterwards.
It just went right in my ear.
We're going to turn Kevin's right down. If he needs to just take a nap in the corner, it's all good, man. It's
anywho, I really enjoy that stuff, and WWE's schedule doesn't help. So you make an effort, but you have to sacrifice something. So I haven't really been eating very well. I haven't been working out. So these tours are hard in some way because I prioritize, which probably isn't the best thing to do. But I do prioritize, like, maybe it's for my sanity to go out and see things in the little time I have.
I mean, you guys are in Liverpool on Wednesday, and I heard you on Jericho's podcast the other day.
No, that's
are you
not
guys?
us.
Or is it SmackDown heading to Liverpool? I was going to say you've got a chance to go out on the Beatles
find out
tour.
Where we are when we get to the place that morning.
Oh yeah,
I have no idea.
He doesn't look ahead.
I have no idea where we're going.
There must be times you've woken up and been like,
we are in Geneva, maybe.
I don't know. But yeah, every week. We'll go through. We'll go through customs, and they'll ask where'd you come from, and we just don't have the answer.
A blank stare.
I don't know. Somewhere.
I've seen a guy do that.
That way, please.
That was because he's drunk so much he didn't remember where he got on his plane.
Yeah, it's a different thing.
Slightly different.
We work
It's
very
a different
hard.
kind of drunk.
You said you wouldn't tell that story on the show, mate.
Yeah.
Sat right here.
Apologies. Drunk on work.
What was it like being back in Canada and wrestling in Canada? Now you guys are working back together again.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah,
I know for Kev, it's first time TV in Montreal for Kev.
Yeah, it's always special when you're in front of the hometown crowd and stuff. And Montreal, I don't think, every time we go anywhere in the U.S. or, the world, and they'll see the hometown guys, it's always a good reception. But I think Montreal's special in the sense that it took so long. Like this only...
Oh my God!
That's a receipt. I insist you guys keep that in. This better stay in. To it.
Without a doubt.
You wanted to yell in the thing earlier.
That's the big money. That's the big money.
My thing shook.
Well, yeah, you should have heard yourself when you yelled earlier.
Anyway, mine was slightly peaked slightly in volume.
This is neither near nor there.
Finish your story.
So it's always special when you go to the hometown, and the reception's always great. But Montreal is different because it takes so long for guys from that area to get to WWE. Like, it happened a handful of times over the last 30, 40 years.
And it's never quite happened the way it happened for us, which is two guys from the independents who, like, really, started there.
A lot of those
and
people
dug from the bottom there.
Up,
yeah, they saw us literally grow up. Those fans know us from when we were 18 years old and to now, and followed our journey. So maybe that does account for it, for what Kevin's saying. And this might sound arrogant, but I do find it is a little disproportionate, and I don't know the reasons, but maybe what Kevin just said. Our hometown reception is disproportionate, I feel like, to other hometown receptions that other guys get in their towns. And I'm not saying that's because of us. I don't know the exact reason, but one of those reasons could be what Kevin just addressed, the fact that a lot of these fans did watch us grow up.
But for what it's worth, those fans that night in Montreal, and I guess the next night as well for SmackDown, I was traveling, so I didn't get to see it. But they of course, we got a great reception, but
Yeah,
they were
they're
amazing
jazzed
for
all night.
everyone
Oh, it
there.
was
Yeah.
a crazy
And, like,
hot
they were-
crowd
Did it come
in
off on
general.
TV as well?
Massively so,
And
yeah.
they were the great kind of excited. They were the great, like, there was no beach ball. There was no,
They're
we
the
are
right,
awesome.
yeah.
Cheer
They
faces,
were here to
boo
yes,
heels,
yes.
all the way.
Even that, like, regardless of that, they were into every single match. They gave everybody, they made everybody, they acted like everyone was special. It was a dream crowd, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I guess there's a bit of pride there for us, for sure.
And
that
I
it was
think
our hometown
another
crowd.
part of
And
that-
everybody on the roster loved it. You know, everybody's
Yeah.
like, man, Montreal's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Versus when I usually bring them to Montreal, I'm so excited that the guys are coming to Montreal. Wait till they see my city, and they all hate it. They all hate it because
Why?
And
Montreal's an amazing city.
Here's why, and I'll explain this. Okay, so when you travel with WWE, your experience in any town is sort of relative. How you feel about any town is relative to your experience in that town. And so, if you come in somewhere, these guys are used to, you just want convenience. Okay. So if you have to fly in and all of a sudden, you have to go through customs and now your phone is on roaming and your bank card, the currency is different and the language is different and there's traffic everywhere. Yeah. It's not, if they came to visit with their families, I'm sure they'd love Montreal. It's a very special place. But when you come for like an afternoon house show, you know what I mean? And you just flew in and you're going through all these hoops on a Friday with the traffic that's in that city and the construction, everything. It's a nightmare. So the work experience is unpleasant. So they end up saying like, oh God, Montreal. Oh, no.
Nightmare. Let's not do it again.
So this is the one time it was actually great because they got a great experience out of Montreal. I felt a lot of, I don't know, what is that feeling? When you're
I'm kind of intrigued because you guys...
Glee?
Surely it's pride.
I was
Yeah.
gleeful.
Gleeful's good.
Yeah.
You guys came out to an incredible reception when you came out during the opening promo, and it's really interesting to me that Kevin, you've been working the kind of heel side of WWE for a while now, but Sammy, you've just kind of really got into that road. We've really enjoying the way you've embraced it, but when you've been working so hard on that element of your character and putting that out on TV and really getting heat for it, and then you're suddenly in front of a crowd who are giving you as much love as you were getting, is that a bit of a kind of weird juxtaposition to know how to then handle how you were reacting to it?
I mean, I feel like the best part of wrestling is when it's organic and not put on. So if we go to cities where they want to boo us, that's fine. But if we go to cities where they want to cheer us, I don't think we should fight against that because, I don't know, it's counterproductive. I think people just want to go there, have a good time, and, cheer who they want to cheer. As long as they're into the show and they're being, I don't know, as long as they're loud and making noise, I think that, to me, that's always the way I've seen it, is just let them be the way they want. There's, of course, a difference. Every crowd can get a little, that it's happened over the last few years. Everybody, like, some crowds just get very obnoxious and they go
when
from
they
being,
do it from their own entertainment,
they
it
go
has a
from
different
being
feeling.
they go from being great to being terrible in a matter of minutes sometimes.
Yeah.
That didn't happen in Montreal. They were just right into everybody, and maybe they were cheering some guys that normally wouldn't get cheered and booing some guys that normally wouldn't get booed. But nobody can deny that it didn't make for a really great night. Even people watching at home get enjoyment out of it because, it's infectious. It's contagious. It's another synonym for that word that I just used. And it's just cool to share that, even when you're watching from home, wherever you may be. So I think just letting things go the way they are and not trying to turn them and not trying to have us be like, oh no, we actually don't like Montreal. Boo! Yeah. Outrage. It's way better than just using what's at your disposal by just seeing how the crowd reacts and going along with it. It's the way to go.
In terms of crowds, when you come to the UK, can you tell, is there a slightly different vibe with the UK to the States and Canada? Can you come out and go, yeah, this is a UK crowd if you didn't know where you were?
I would say most times probably, yeah. I don't know if that's the case everywhere we go, but in London.
Are we talking TV or are we talking like the live event?
Any live
Yeah,
event.
Everywhere. I think live events. I don't know. I mean, live events. I'd say it could be pretty. We could probably expect them to be a lot like the U.S. crowds, but like London.
No, they're
TV.
usually a bit. I do feel like they're louder.
No, I'm not saying maybe not louder, but like they'll probably react alongside.
Oh,
what the
yes, along
crowd
the
in Kansas
storylines.
City would
Yes,
react to.
yes.
But London, TVs in London, I feel it's almost the same kind of situation as Montreal or
anything
wherever
kinda,
those kooky towns
that
react
they're just there to have
differently,
fun. So whatever they're going to do is what they're going to do.
You don't have to be nice just because you're sat here, by the way. You can say no, not at all. It's,
No.
it's
Trust
rubbish.
me, being nice is never an obligation for me. So.
Well, I'm on the verge of saying something that might upset some of these London fans, but I'm not sure if
I'm thrilled already.
I can't wait.
I'm not
I'm
sure
on
if
the edge of
I'm
my
not
seat,
sure if I even
sort of.
really believe this, but so I think one good example of a town that you're kind of talking about, where it's like they're reputed for being a good crowd, but then they find out that they have that reputation, and then they think that they're part of the show in a sense, and they always are a part of the show. They actually kind of dictate the show, but then once they realize they have that power, then it's almost like an act.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They can withhold their cheers.
Or no, it's like they're just trying to do it for themselves to show,
okay.
look how funny we are, look how
Yeah.
much fun we have, or whatever it is. You know what I mean? That's again going back to Montreal. What made it different is they weren't there to show like Montreal fans are the cool fans. They were just cool fans.
Yeah.
But when you know that you're like, oh, when Raw comes to Brooklyn, you're gonna get some beach balls. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like.
Chicago. You're talking about that kind of town.
Chicago. No, I disagree. I think
Oh, really?
Chicago's just straight up enjoy. They just enjoy it.
Awesome.
But it's okay. So like the night after WrestleMania, and because WWE's also
We did our first Raw after WrestleMania this year.
actually,
at the
this
crowd,
year I
and-
thought
Yeah, I
was
thought they were pretty good.
this was the year where I thought they were the most
because we were there.
into it. Yeah, is that the difference?
It was the little
You
corner
were
of
there with
Brits
little
there, yeah.
little pins popping the beach balls as they came to you.
Yeah, that's it.
I don't know. I don't know. My thoughts aren't very clear on this subject, but I think you know what I mean. When fans are aware that they're kind of being the cool, cheeky fans, and it almost becomes less about
What city were you going to piss off just now, though?
London.
Oh,
London.
there-
I feel like London knows that they're a cool Raw city.
Yeah,
They know, like, oh, Raw's in London. We're going to show them what we got tonight.
it's a hipster town.
But not. I don't know. Forget it. Forget I said anything.
Do you want a ladder or a shuffle?
Just
at
delete
this
the
point?
last 10 minutes.
At least you did the sleazy radio announcer guy earlier. It was good.
what voice is that?
I don't know, whatever voice you made, just
Sleazy radio
It
announcer.
sounded really strange, like a radio DJ.
There's two,
I know what you're talking about.
Raw's coming to London.
there's two radio DJs sat opposite you who do
Let's show them
voiceover
what
work. We're
we've
incredibly
got.
offended.
It didn't go anywhere, but I really enjoyed it.
For people who maybe only came to you guys when Kevin debuted in NXT and you had that fantastic moment where he came and power bombed you and have only seen your development over those 3 or 4 years. Just tell us a little bit about how you guys first came together and what now means to be working together at this point.
You go.
All right. I don't know. How deep do you want to go here?
We can go as deep as
First
you like.
meeting?
We can go to first meeting. We can
We
go to how
met-
you came together as a tag team.
We met
like,
first, December 2002, right? So he was injured. I was in my first year of wrestling. And so he wrestled for Jacques Rougeau. And Jacques Rougeau, this is a whole thing too. He had his students and he wouldn't let them wrestle anywhere else. So they weren't part of the Quebec Indies. So Kevin had actually been wrestling for a couple of years, but had only done maybe 6 shows at that point, 7 shows maybe.
like that.
For having wrestled 2-3 years, he's only got 6 shows under his belt. He's injured at this time, but a couple of guys, who are kind of like Kevin in the sense that they love wrestling, that's not enough for them. They leave. Beef Wellington, Kid Kamikaze. They leave, and they join the independents, and I meet them, and we hit it off right away. And so I've heard about him. I hear a lot about this Kevin Steen. Who is this guy? And then finally, so they had kind of talked him up a little bit, so we finally met, and he had seen my work on the independents a little bit. And so we finally met. We kind of hit it off right away. And then, I think at that point, he kind of followed what Beef and Kid Kamikaze and, because he loved wrestling so much, he couldn't be contained to wrestling once every 4 or 5 months. So he wanted to get out there. So he started joining us on the independents. And really from the time we had our first match together, which was a 3-way match with Pierre-Carl Ouellette, who's now...
That's not incorrect.
Oh, if you technically count the 10-man match.
It's we had a 5-way MWF.
That was first?
Yep.
In Saint Jean?
Yep.
All right. Anywho, from the day
We're going
we
deep.
started wrestling, it's like people wanted to see us wrestle each other, because we were 2 guys who were kind of making our name in Quebec as 2 of the better guys in Quebec, and that's not really saying much about us at the time, so much as it is about saying the quality of wrestling in the scene in Quebec at the time. And so from day one, for whatever reason, people wanted to see us together in matches with each other, and it's kind of been the same for the last 15 years. It's really bizarre.
I think for me, like somebody who did follow the Indies and loved that you immediately came together when you turned up at NXT, it kind of built to that match at Battleground, which on a night when we had the Shield triple threat, which was what all the focus was on, you guys come in, just steal the show. It's a match of the year kind of candidate. What's it like when you're going into like a pay-per-view like that? You guys have worked together for 14 years at that point. Can you just go in and call the match in the ring and put it all together and know that it's going to be great? Or are you still putting in together like a huge level of planning into that, knowing?
I mean, we're going to keep the intricacies of our work to ourselves here. But obviously when you've been wrestling somebody for 15 years, a match coming together is a lot easier than when you've never met before. Or some guys you have instant chemistry with, which might have been the case for us as well. But
however, there is a different kind of pressure to like, how are we going to top ourselves?
Yeah.
Because we've had some good ones over the years.
Well, that's it.
Well, even that year, like we had, like you said, we had the NXT stuff, but then when we got the match at Payback, which was, I think was pretty great. And then
we thought that was our best match when we came back.
And then we did Battleground, and
then that was our best match.
What
I proud of that one.
What I really loved. Sorry, I was just saying. What I loved about Battleground was you had the spot where you landed on your injured shoulder. I don't know whether that was a thing or not, but working that into the match and having Kevin work on the arm, and it just the story built so beautifully that it kind of it all came together right in the moment.
Yeah, thanks. I guess that's the thing that's surprising to me is after all these years, I really do feel like we've exhausted it, but we somehow just keep topping ourselves, man.
Good look at these guys.
Like, we thought our best match was in Orpington, right? In 2006. Mm-hmm. We're like, oh, that's as good as it's going to get.
I mean, we have
10 years later, we're continually topping it. It's pretty impressive.
That's the right way around. If you felt like you were
Can we
best
just talk
match,
about how great we are for a minute? I mean, wow.
Basking.
I get the impression Kevin's a guy who likes to talk about how great he is.
I'm adequate.
No, I'm just kidding around. But honestly, it does surprise me that not only the fact that we continue to have pretty good matches in my book, but also that fans are still drawn to seeing us together, either now as friends or as enemies. Maybe a little less so towards the end there because we were doing it so much on Raw, which I was, because they know they can always kind of go to that in a pinch because it's a built-in story. Like, what do we do? Throw Sami and Kevin together. So outside of that, I think fans have always they're still drawn to whatever it is we've got. I don't know.
And you obviously work with each other and against each other famously, and one or the other. Do you guys legitimately have like a favorite being enemies or being friends, or is it just getting to work with someone that you're so close with that's just what it's all about?
Well, we've never done what we're doing now. Never. We've never been a team with both of us talking like this and playing off our real life chemistry or our real life, the way we talk in real life, kind of step over each other and like add to each other's points and just being kind of jerks right now because we're doing our act, but we've never done it. So even this is new, even despite the fact that we've been working together for 15 years now, it's still new. What we're doing now, we've never done before. So there's still new, cool things that we can do. I forgot your question.
Which do you prefer?
It's still
partners
fun.
or
do I love being amazing?
Or going against each other?
Is that what you said?
No.
What did you say?
You should listen to the end of the sentence.
You're very mumbly this morning. He just woke up, to be fair.
Kevin, I wonder what has WWE meant for you in these last 3 or 4 years versus those years with Ring of Honor, working through the Indies, and because I think back to from debut up to like something like the Festival of Friendship, which people talk about as being one of the great angles of modern WWE. What's been the difference for you over that time?
When my time on the Indies came to an end, I think it was about time for it to come to an end. I was pretty ready to just be done with. That's part of my career, and I always wanted to end up in WWE. That was always the ultimate goal. So obviously the last few years have been, they've been incredible in the sense that not only did I make it to WWE, I kind of caught up on lost time in a way because it took me 15 years to get here. But in the last 3 years, I've pretty much I don't know, I fast-tracked through landmarks and moments that, a lot of people work, 10 years in WWE to get to and stuff like that. So it's been a pretty incredible ride from, everybody I worked with to just the things I've seen, the places I've been, and, the stories that we've been able to tell and the moments we've created. Just, it's exactly like what I expected WWE to be in a way, but also at the same time I had no idea what to expect. So it's a bit of a both. It's kind of hard to explain, it's a bit of a it's both, sometimes, like I've said, it makes complete sense for me that I'm here. Like, this is where I belong, this is where I no doubt I would get to one day, but at the same time I can't believe I'm here. So it's kind of a funny feeling.
Do you still stay across a lot of the indie scene, both of you? Do you still have your favorites? Do you still manage to catch up with any of the guys that you would know so well? That
I stay aware of it through Twitter mostly, to be honest. I follow lots of fans because I enjoy seeing, or I used to anyway. I don't follow anybody anymore. But, I keep track. And I'm actually friends with a couple of fans now. Like, throughout my years on the Indies, I became personally, acquainted with some of these fans, and I still talk to them. And, those guys still go to indie shows, and I kind of keep track of what's going on through them and through Twitter and stuff like that. Just what promotions are doing well, what, which guys are making noise and stuff like that. And I think I just do that for my own, satisfaction, just kind of, or my own, I'm interested. I really don't have the chance to see any shows, though. I don't have time to watch shows from beginning to end or anything like that. It's, and I also kind of don't want to, because I feel like when people watch wrestling too much, and I know he agrees with this, I feel like they end up almost, I'm going to use the word stealing, but it's not what it is. It's heavily influenced by what they watch.
Yeah.
So I don't know how many people I see here or on the indies that are doing stuff that other people are doing.
Do you still get, you've talked about before, getting to the NXT shows now that you live in Orlando. Do you still get to go and see any of those tapings?
I really only, I've been to an NXT TV once or twice just to go check it out. But as much as I enjoy going there, I'm on the road all the time, and I have my wife and children at home. So when I'm home, I like to be home with them. But whenever... I came to Florida without them once to set up, when we were moving to set up our apartment and stuff like that. And that night there was an NXT show, so I had every intention of going because, I can't be with my kids and my wife anyway. I'm here without them, so why wouldn't I go and check out the show? And it didn't work out, but I do have that that mindset, especially when it comes to NXT. I mean, NXT really obviously is the future of what we're going to be doing here. So there's a whole bunch of guys in NXT down there now that I'm sure in 3 years I'll be working with. So I do like to try to keep an eye on what's going on there, especially, and if I can go there live and see who I'm going to be dealing with in a few years and see how they're progressing. And part of it is also just being able to be around that atmosphere, the environment, because NXT, I was there for 6 months, right? But it was so. Man, it's a time I'll look back on very fondly forever because, getting to work with Triple H, getting to work with all the producers there, the trainers, Terry Taylor was instrumental in, helping me get ready for that main roster move once it happened. And, just those guys getting to see them. Like Robbie Brooks said, I see once in a blue moon, and it's so great to see him. So just going back to NXT is always pretty special. It's always something I try to do as much as I can, even with the busy schedule.
It's a kind of fascinating time for wrestling. We cover on our show not just the WWE, but a lot of the UK indie scene, make sure that we do get onto the New Japan, the Ring of Honor stuff as well. And, we've got promotions here. ICW up in Scotland, they sell out the Hydro, which is where WWE sell out. The biggest promotion down here in London, Progress, are doing Wembley later this year, which is the biggest UK indie show in 30 years. And then you see something like All In, which was announced yesterday and sells out in half an hour. I mean, there's guys who came up through that scene, and that's got to be like a bit of pride that not only have you managed to break into the WWE, but you see how strong wrestling is kind of across the board at the moment.
Yeah, it's been going strong for a couple of years. I mean, I remember towards the end of my run on the independents, it seems like everything was looking up for almost everywhere. Like, I remember doing a show in Cleveland, and then it was a double shot for me, like one show in Cleveland, one show in Chicago for two companies I'd never done before, AIW and AAW, and both places sold out for that show. And I'm not saying it was me, but I'm sure me being there helped. But then
What was a
AIW,
sellout?
Sammy would claim it was him, but that's fine.
Well, no, I was long since gone. Come on.
His legacy
What's a
sold
sellout?
I don't know, man.
Like a few hundred, 500?
500, yeah. But
Well,
like,
that's good. I mean,
so AIW specifically, I'm still friends with the promoters to this day, and I talked to John Thorne, who's who's the promoter, and he'll always credit me for kickstarting their most successful run, because since then they've had great crowds, and besides maybe the odd show here and there that didn't draw so good, they've had like a consistent crowd, of several hundred people, and their business has been doing really well. And I remember that, like, that being the turning point. Like, man, all these independent companies are starting to do pretty great. And even Quebec City, like, I wrestled for this one company in Quebec City, and sometimes we'd have 100 people, then 150, then 200, and it took months and months, but now they sell out every single show.
Right.
And they used to do it by bringing people, outside talent, in all the time. And now they don't do it. They don't have to do it anymore. Their local talent is what people come to see. So that's pretty great to see. And like you said, all these companies are doing so well. It's, wrestling's probably doing better than it has in a long time.
certainly in the UK.
Well, it's something we're seeing
on
in
an
the
independent
UK.
level for sure. I mean, when we were doing independents in England, the hot promotions were drawing like 300 people. That was a good show. You know what I mean?
Progress sells out 700 every month.
It sells out again
Camden
within
and in
half an
just
hour.
a few
It's
minutes.
awesome. So I guess I mean I'm proud. Not to say that I had much of a hand in building it, but our generation maybe paved the way a little bit for this generation to knock it out of the park and reap the rewards, not only with regards to fans showing up, but also financially. Like, these guys are making good livings, and it took me a long time being a wrestler to make decent money, and now you can make good money.
Yeah.
And you don't have to stick it out quite as long. So that's good. That's great for the scene. That's great for these guys. It's awesome.
And they can be selective as well. They don't have to just say yes to everything because they got to put get money in the bank. They can go all pick and choose, which
Sure.
must be a nice luxury for them, I would imagine.
Yeah.
I mean, the
I
top
can't even.
guys
I can't.
maybe,
It's not
but-
even that. I just can't put myself in that mindset because when I was on the independents, my attitude was to kind of take everything. Yeah.
Well, look, sticking with independence, and I know we've got to wrap up soon. Obviously, someone else that came through independent was Daniel Bryan, and you most recently been part of that whole storyline with him coming back to wrestling full time. That must have been really special for you guys.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah, it was just really cool to see.
Oh.
Hello.
That's your
Sam, can you get that?
That's,
Please be somebody who's.
that's your wake up call.
No, we're good. Nobody's sleeping here. We're doing a podcast. It's pretty awesome. You should check it out.
Well, you didn't give them the name.
That's all right. It's a pro
How are they
wrestling
gonna check
show.
it out? They'll figure it out.
Call though. So.
There you go. We get interrupted.
Daniel Bryan.
Okay, so Daniel Bryan.
Amazing, yeah.
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan is so like, if anything for us, it was just really cool to see him get back to doing what he has been meant to do this whole time. You know what I mean? We had hopes when this whole thing started that maybe that's the way it was gonna go.
Oh, for crying out loud.
Can you unhook it, Sam? Is that
Well, there's two phones.
great? Sorry.
We had hopes when the whole thing started that maybe that's the way it was gonna go, but obviously we had no. So like we had hopes in our heads, but we didn't think it was possible, and it somehow happened, and we had no idea it was gonna happen until the afternoon they announced it.
We found out like
we
everyone
found
else.
out on WWE.com like everyone else. So
And it's
And then
funny
you come in
because
and
we
you
had
powerbomb him onto the hardest part of the ring. So
that was cool, and
he had just gone on and on and on about how he was cleared as a
we
wrestler.
just
so why not?
we just thought, imagine we had done that and they hadn't announced he was cleared. Imagine the old school type heat
Oh,
we could have
man.
gotten, but whatever, it was all good. But it's just funny that that WrestleMania match was actually a culmination of an 8-month story, from Hell in a Cell to that. But the moment they announced Daniel Bryan coming back, Okay, take your little 8-month story and go somewhere else. Okay, this is about
anybody.
Could have been
yeah.
anybody.
And that's that's. I mean, especially it being in New Orleans and everything, where he won the title.
And I think that would, but like as a professional, not personally speaking here, but professionally speaking, especially WWE. I mean, entertainment. Generally everyone's trying to get ahead. Everyone's jostling for position. It's a cutthroat kind of environment, and yet, everyone's got a little bit of an ego. Everyone kind of wants a good spot on WrestleMania and everything like that. I can say definitely Shane, definitely Kevin, definitely myself. WrestleMania, come on, But with the match becoming about Daniel so quick, not one of us objected. And that's a testament to his career and him as a person and as a professional.
I mean,
not one of us was like, oh man, now it's not about us anymore. We were happy to do it.
Yeah, huge.
And we were happy to do it.
And it was our first Mania this year, and I was umming and ahhing over whether to go because professionally, was I going to get enough work to afford it to pay myself to get there? The moment that was announced, I booked my plane tickets.
Oh, there
that
you
was
go.
enough for me. The card was already amazing.
We
that
sold
was the thing
one
that pushed it
ticket.
over the edge. So there you go. Your
Well, not
man
even
sold
us.
that ticket at
Daniel.
least.
Daniel sold that. But he had to beat someone up.
Guys, really appreciate your time. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, no problem.
all right, thanks a lot.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.